Why spend more time in the area of your strengths than focusing on your weakness? I'll tell you right now, discovering your areas of genius is vital so that we spend our time doing things that make us feel alive instead of making us feel like we're puny and insignificant and unworthy of whatever it is that we happen to be doing. So, how in the world do we do this? So, when we start thinking about, well, what are your strengths? A simple exercise to find your area of genius. We want to discover them, we want to clarify, we want to unlock them, we want to maximize them. Then, of course, we want to live on purpose. Well, there are some clues that were left behind from our childhood. What in the world was it that lit you up when you were a child? What did you really were fascinated with? Were you fascinated with nature? Maybe you were fascinated with reading or art. Maybe you were one of the types that loved to get up and speak, and you were the ham of the party. And you know, as a little kid, you're always making everybody laugh. What was it? Like, what is the thing that really lit you up as a child? Were you a musician? Did music just light you up? Because we're looking for clues to what your actual strengths are. So when we start thinking about our natural wiring, nature versus nurture, right? Nature is what God gave you, your divine fingerprint, what you were born with, your God-given gifts, your natural strengths and talents, those types of things that are all encompassing into your unique design leave some amazing clues. Sometimes we don't discover those things until later in life, but again, going back to childhood, going back to what really fascinates you now, what are some of those things that you continuously dream about? Those are the things that truly are holding some clues for you. So, what would you do for free? Right? What is it that you would do for free? It wouldn't matter how much, regardless of whether you needed to make money or not, you would do the thing. There is some wisdom in there. What are those things for you? For me, man, I love coaching people. I've been coaching from the time I was 16 years old. I was coaching little wrestlers, and I was also coaching small soccer kids. Been coaching forever. Well, the question is, how do we take things that have really been lighting us up that we've been doing for a long time, and how do we do more of that today? What would you do for free? Shoot, I've coached for free my whole life, and now I do it for a living. Why? Because it lights me up. I love helping people. I love drawing the best of people out of themselves, right? So what is it for you? Can we develop strengths? Yeah, absolutely, we can develop strengths. I go back to as a child when I was in Sunday school, and it was my turn to stand up and give the presentation. Well, a 3, 4, 5 year old, 3 year olds can't even barely talk, but a 5 year old, I could regurgitate whatever mom or my sister would whisper in my ear. They'd whisper the scripture, I'd repeat it. Or they, in the reading of a story, they'd read a couple lines, and then I would read into my ear, and I would read it to all the kids sitting out there waiting anxiously for me to finish. But as I got better, as I got older, then my presentations actually started getting pretty good. And now, yeah, I've spent significant amounts of time on stage, Toastmaster for 22 years. So when all is said and done, can we develop skills? Yeah, it's called nurture. So we've got our nature, the things we were born with. We've got the nurturing process of how are we growing over time because we're investing time, talent, treasure in the development of skill that for me, it ended up being a strength of mine, but I developed that strength over time. Yes, I had a natural inclination to it, but at the same time, had I not developed it further, I'd be less than mediocre. Now I'm not great, but I'm way better than I would have been had I not been doing it for the last 30 plus years. So yeah, time with invested and intentional effort, we get better at things. Now the question is that an area of my genius? Is that an area where I should be spending more of my time? And the answer is yeah, of course it is. What is it that feeds you with energy? What fuels your energy versus drains the living daylights out of you? You know what I'm talking about. There are those things, including people, that are energy giving, and there are others that are energy draining. Who are they for you, and what are those activities for you? If making a spreadsheet absolutely drains your energy, drains the life right out of you, why are you making spreadsheets? And again, now with AI, you don't need to make spreadsheets. Let the AI bot do it. However, maybe your area of genius is that one-to-one communication, the networking side of things, picking up the phone and talking to people and interacting with. If that's your thing, do more of that, right? And do less of the things that are draining you and just leaving you feeling empty. Think about this. Your story leaves clues. A lot of times we can go back to the lessons that we've learned from the past, both the positives and the negatives, in order to pull and extract the lessons from our past, which will tell us a lot about why we do what we do and a lot about who we are. So the exercise that I went through with this, I first heard about it with Discover Your Why with our brother. It'll come to me here in a minute. But anyways, the concept of discovering your why. And how in the world do you do that? Well, you take the top 10 events from your life, the 10 most fulfilling events, and you record them. You either write them out or you record yourself retelling the story. The top 10. Then you also make another of your bottom 10, like the worst 10 things to ever happen to you in your life. And at the same time, you're extracting the lesson, you're extracting what you learned from it, the values that you took away from those. Simon Sinek, by the way, that was Simon Sinek's book, right? Discover Your Why and Start with Why. Anyways, the concept here is we want to figure out what the patterns are between the top 10, the bottom 10, and we bring those patterns together and we start to look and determine, oh, okay, this is why. Oh my gosh, this is why I do this, and this is why I do that. This is why this lights me up, and this is why that doesn't light me up. You'll find a lot of clues in your top 10 stories and in your bottom 10 stories. And what I would encourage you to do is to have a third party who knows you, but may not know all your stories, to be able to either watch you tell the stories or to go through and read them and look for patterns. So you're looking for patterns, they're looking for patterns, you group them together, and you're coming away with your core values, is what you're coming away with there. So that's why we talk about looking for patterns. What's my why? What's the big reason why you do what you do, right? So if I look at my purpose, it's right on the wall here. The purpose of my life is to be fully present, competent, confident, and spiritually connected, to listen, to learn, to speak, to inspire, to unlock the best of who you are so that disrespectful leaders dissipate, broken communication is healed, people thrive, missions are achieved, and where people say, I am at peace. Right? So is that a lot? Yeah, that's a lot. But in reality, my business purpose, which is a little bit different, is to inspire leaders to embrace people's stewardship so that their teams will take personal responsibility for their own growth and development. To me, that's a big deal. So how do we lock in or live in the area of our genius? So we delegate, we automate, and we eliminate. Delegate the things to people on your team you can delegate, or delegate it out to an organization like Fiverr, hire somebody on Fiverr, or get yourself a virtual assistant, train an AI agent to do a lot of things, to delegate to those and automate other things. So there's some things that just can be automated with your AI, and other things that just don't light you up. Why don't we just get rid of it? Let's eliminate it. Let's get rid of it altogether. Why are we doing any of that stuff anyway? Like, why are you mowing your lawn if you hate mowing your lawn? Especially when you could be doing something that makes you more money than the $35 that you're paying the guy to mow your lawn. So what does that look like for you? Guys, look, I do have a free 5-day email course, Discover the People Steward Leader Within. It's 5 emails that will be sent to you, 1 per day for 5 days. It's going to walk you through my story, some of the main lessons that I've learned in my lifetime, so that you can also discover the people steward leader within you, so that you can thrive, your teams can thrive, and we can all achieve together. We can go further together than we can separately. All right. Hope this helps, and we'll see you on the flip side. If you got anything out of this, like it, share it, subscribe. I appreciate you.